Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. A very warm welcome to Silver Tent TV. I'm your host, Siobhan Reardon, along with my dog at my feet, Elsa, who occasionally might join in. I'm delighted to welcome back Debbie Walker today. This is part 2 of a conversation where we're going to explore the power of sound. So, Debbie, just want to begin by saying a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be back.
So the Silver Tent, Debbie and I are both members of the Silver Tent, a global online community of women over 50, which is there to nourish, support, and be a platform for women's wisdom as we move into the autumn and winter of our lives. This show today is an opportunity for Debbie and I to go a little bit deeper in our exploration of sound and the power of sound and the way that, and the evidence really, and the science of healing through frequency. Yes, when we last met Debbie, we explored some of the story about how you came to sound and how you have gone on to really be a pioneer in the development of qualifications and courses for people to train as sound practitioners. And we touched a little bit on the science of it and the physics of it and Einstein and how life is made up of light and sound waves. And as we were concluding our conversation last time, we kind of got to music, which I think is, you know, if anyone thinks, oh God, this is such a woo-woo conversation, tree-hugging hippies, you know, all the labels that get put on, people that explore some of the hidden dimensions of life. I thought about music, and that's something that we all know and is universal human experience of the way sound touches us. And I thought that would be a great way to begin today in terms of what is music. And if you look that up, I looked up a couple of definitions, and one of the themes of it is it's an expression of emotion. And there was a beautiful little expression. It's the soul expressing itself. So music is a great way of understanding sound. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. It's a gateway into people's lives, into people's hearts. It touches the soul. And there's been so much research and evidence to show that music can heal in areas of Parkinson's and dementia, different diseases and life challenges. If people find the music that resonates with their heart and their soul, it can actually just do a 360-degree for them.
I'm smiling because, as you know, I accompanied my mother on the dementia pathway for 7 years, and one of the most joyful moments when visiting her in the care home was when they had music playing or when they had the residents singing together. And you can see sometimes very morose or almost catatonic dementia residents come to life from the sound of music.
This last year I created a sort of little program called Honouring the Elders. And I went along with a dear friend of mine, two friends, Teresa and Sophie, and we went into a couple of homes of residents with dementia. We took drums, we took chimes, we took flutes, we rattles and everything like that. And what we found was exactly what you said, people that are sitting there in pretty much a catatonic state actually came alive, and for that moment you could look into their eyes and you could see them again, and they interacted, and the beats of the drum, you know, they didn't know what they were doing, but they were doing shamanic drumming, and wow, it was just such an honor. And one gentleman who was he didn't speak at all, he hadn't spoken since he'd been in the home, and we gave him a rattle and he was just rattling, so he basically closed in. And when I went to him at the end and and say goodbye, he said, "Are you coming back tomorrow?" All the staff were absolutely open-mouthed because he had never spoken. So this was something that I really wanted to, explore further in my work.
It's I think music, beginning with music and understanding how significant music is in our lives, is a way of immediately understanding that actually talking about sound as a healing force and using it as a healing force isn't as woo-woo as it sounds. So one of the ways that you've led is the development of tuning forks and the role of and that's why I wanted to connect it to music, tuning forks. And so my first question, again, in understanding more about the science of sound, is what are you tuning into?
So basically, how I describe it is, if you tune into a guitar, you tune a piano. I mean, piano uses tuning forks to tune. And also, I'll go into the medical side. The doctor will use tuning forks to find out the acoustic tuning in people's ears for deafness and such like. So they've been around since 1711 in different various guises. So what I find with the tuning forks, what they actually do is they tune our auric field and our chakras. So the energy within us absorbs the vibration, absorbs the frequency, and then the body, as an intelligent being, does what it needs to do. And that is what I found. The same way with music, people can just close their eyes and listen to the most beautiful piece of music, and it will just start to bathe all their organs through the nervous system, through the vagus nerve. It starts with the ears. It sort of starts with the ears, and it just comes into the body. And that piece of music or that sound, whatever resonates to you, because we're all different, it's just when you see, I'm just so excited about music and sound, because it can help so many people with so many things.
Well, and that leads us beautifully into the development of your new course, and because you've really honed here on a particular community of souls, which is women who are going through or have been through the menopause, and that's grown out of your own experience. Do you want to share a bit with us about that course?
Yes, personally, I mean, I had an 18-month journey, which I didn't know what was happening actually to me. There was no one really to talk to about it. There was no tribe. We're not in a community where people can give you their words of wisdom and say, yes, this is perfectly normal that you don't feel confident, perfectly normal that your self-esteem is on the floor, perfectly normal that you don't want to go out and be with anybody. So I withdrew from a lot of things, and I went very, very deep using sound into my kind of inner sanctum, if you like. And what I found there was, I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know what I was doing here. And so I slowly just used my tools, used what I knew, started sort of gently sort of talking to people and saying, what did you do? How was it for you? And there was so little out there from a kind of holistic point of view. Lots of medical things, you can take this, but not anything tangible that would make me feel better at that time. So by using the sounds, by developing a new sound called the Rhythm of Gaia, it basically allowed my body to tune back into my ancestry. So, and what I mean by that is I kind of knew what to do for myself. So I went into nature. I started eating cleaner. I started juicing, smoothieing. It almost gave me the tools I needed, and I didn't know that I needed them.
So it's a course that really takes us back to that much more naturopathic way of living and lifestyle. And how are you going to be helping participants to embark on that journey?
So basically, I've I've developed a couple of things. I've developed a retreat where people can come and be shown how to, I'm showing how to the juicing, the smoothieing. I did nutrition because I used to be a nurse. I did nutrition when I was nursing, but I'm not a nutritionist as such. But I know what worked and what worked for me. So I'm happy to share these kind of little golden nuggets. I wish I had a me back 18 months ago. And we're also going to use sound. We're going to use meditation. We're going to use energy release techniques. We're going to use emotional freedom technique, which is the EFT. And all of this enables people to take their own journey, whatever that is for them, back into their own hands. Because no two journeys are going to be the same. So my role as a facilitator, if you like, on the retreats, and indeed the course is 9 months. So that's a proper 9 months, 9-month journey in the wild, part of in the wild, part of in here at my retreat centre in Cornwall. And we will allow people to be heard. One of the biggest things is just tell me how you're feeling. What can we do? How can we help? Because that's what I didn't have that, because I didn't know what I was feeling. So I want it to be a platform for women to express themselves and give them tools, tuning forks, meditation and such like, to help their journey go a little bit more smoothly for them.
I just something came to me then as you were talking about it, and I think it's almost like music for the music of the menopause.
I love that.
Because that's what we, and I suddenly think of all of those expressions, and I wish I had a you when I was going through menopause, and a very similar story in terms of the impact. And I found I also lost my ambition. My desire to be out there in the world and to be achieving in the world kind of just disappeared. And I love your metaphor of the cave, because that's almost what it felt like. I kind of went into this cave and my world became very small.
What I found in particular is that I couldn't be around anybody. Because when I woke up in the morning, I didn't know who I was. I literally opened my eyes and thought, who am I? Who am I today? And I've always had direction. I've always had ambition and drive. And what I found exactly that, Siobhan, is it all went, absolutely everything went. And I withdrew from everybody because I just, all I had was enough energy just for me to put almost like one foot in front of the other. Not all the time, but a lot of that time in that cave, if you like, was spent in deep, deep reflection. And the me of now is very, very different to who it's a passage of rights, isn't it, in essence?
It is, absolutely. And I love me that's come out of it, or is coming out of it, I should say. I'm still in there. But I love what's emerging. And there's almost like a deep comfort with oneself.
That's how I feel too. There's nothing, there's no competition with myself. I don't want to do anything, I will not do anything. If I need to sleep, I'll sleep. I make time in my diary. It's not filled up. I have a sense of how it would have been in maybe the tribes where you're coming into your passage of rights to that wise woman, which takes many, many years.
Well, it's a lifetime, isn't it? We're on that journey till our death.
I mean, the thing I want to do for women as well is that people that have already, so they're in medical terms post-menopause, I've been talking to them, and I mean, my mum is 81 and she still talks about the really, really difficult sort of almost 10 years of her menopause journey. And she actually said to me the other day, because she's been such a support to me, she said to me, I thought I had a life-limiting disease. She said, and if I had, she said, I would have just done away with myself. And I was like, whoa, what impact does this have? It's not just about you're stopping hormone, your hormone levels are fluctuating and changing. It's so much more than that. So this is kind of my absolute passion, is to say there is help out there, and sound and music can form part of your strategic planning forward, so that it's not so harsh on your life, and obviously the people around you that love you, because then because they also don't know who they're waking up to or who they're going to get to see.
And it strikes me that your course kind of comes within a world where the menopause still remains something of ridicule. And I know that I'm an out menopausal woman, out and proud. And that is deeply shocking for many people. And often I'm met with, ooh, that's disgusting, as if it's some dirty thing. It's like talking about periods or something like that. And I think the power of the Silver Tent and the power of courses like yours is to offer that island of sanctuary for women, that actually, far from this being something that's disgusting, this is an incredibly powerful journey that our bodies are taking us on.
Yeah. I mean, what I find is, if you, even in a group of women, if you actually, come out and say, I'm in a menopause journey, phase of my life where there is massive change going on, you actually just see a complete look of glaze, that the eyes absolutely glaze over. You think, my goodness, this is my potential tribe of women and community, and they even can't listen to me. And again, I understand that, because obviously they're going through whatever they're going through, so they don't have ears to listen to anything else. They've got nothing left. And that's what I found when I was in that phase of my life, and like you say, still going through that phase. There were times where I had nothing left to give. So I had to cuddle my dogs. I've got 4 dogs, and they were my absolute, I looked at them as my little wolves holding the door of my cave, almost like, stay away, she's nurturing, she's going within, and so that is all the energy I had. So it's a massive life-changing event for so many people, and I really want to celebrate the passage of rites rather than sweep it under the carpet. I'm very, very, very excited about this.
Wonderful. I could listen to you all day happily, Debbie, but we're coming to the end of our show. I will put a link in the text box of how to get hold of you and to find out more about the Rhythm of Gaia, and also more about the forking experience and ways that you can learn more about it. But in the meantime, a wonderful, wonderful talk with you again, Debbie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siobhan. I've just had a lovely time. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for Silver Tent, Silver Synergy and Silver Seed. It's just been incredible, and I've met so many beautiful women on it. So really grateful to
Francesca Cassidy, that one's for you.
Yeah, I was just saying thank you to Francesca. What a beautiful woman with an amazing vision. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Go well. Wherever you are in the world, may the sun shine in your heart, even if it's not in your skies. Aho.